Welcome to the very first episode of the Low Key in Alignment podcast. I am your host, Alani.
And I'm your host, Dana.
And we're here. We're live.
We're here.
We just created this podcast because we have very deep, transformative conversations through our friendship throughout the years. And we really wanted to record and just share because we feel like it could help other people, inspire them on their self-awareness journey and growth journey. And so that's why we're here, and we are low-key in alignment, because even though we are in alignment, it's low-key.
We still a work in progress. How you feeling?
I feel great. I feel amazing. We went and did something new and exciting earlier right before this.
We did.
And it really charged us up and got us revved up and going.
We are ready. Like, y'all just don't know. The energy is just overflowing right now.
It really is. And we thought of this podcast idea in like 2021 after having one of our late night talks. And we said we would create this podcast and we would film it when I bought a house and film it here.
And here we are.
I had no money for no house. I had no job to purchase that house. I was in my parents' home in my bedroom on the FaceTime with you.
Come on.
We were having one of our deep talks, and I was like, we should do a podcast.
And I was like, let's do it. You know, I'm always down.
Always down.
Always down.
So let's tell the people about like how we met.
Oh,
I think that would be a really good story time for you guys, and it's kind of funny.
So we met summer 2018. Both of us were at Georgia State for grad school, getting our master's in social work. I'm brand new to Atlanta. I'm already going into grad school like, I'm gonna just go to class, come home. I ain't gonna make no friends. That was literally where my mind was at the time.
And my mind was, I had a bad roommate situation the year before I graduated, and I was like, I prayed that I would meet a new friends, and I was like, I don't even care if it's just one person. I just want to meet a new friend, a loyal friend, like a trusted friend, please. And here we are.
How many years later?
5 years.
Wow, 5 years. Yep. Can you believe we've known each other that long?
No.
That's half a decade. Ooh.
Clock in.
Funny story, period. Funny story about us first meeting each other. The first day of class, we're in class. I'm just sitting there looking at everybody come in, and I see like open chairs. I look away, then look back, and there's Alani and one of our classmates there. And the classmate is like an older lady. So I'm like, oh, she brought her daughter to class with her.
Ciao.
The next thing I know, Alani started talking. I'm like, wait, you a student?
I was like, how do you think I'm a child?
Yeah.
Like, how do you think that? I had on that red Champion. I don't know
them biker shorts.
Some black biker shorts.
With them flame shoes.
That's embarrassing. With some Vans. They were Vans, y'all.
Girl.
A guy had actually bought me those shoes. I never saw him again after that.
That's crazy.
That makes me believe in the superstition. Do you guys believe in superstition?
Oh, yeah.
If you buy someone shoes, like they'll
they're gonna walk out of your life wearing them shoes.
I kind of believe that because every person who had bought me shoes, we stopped
really
being romantically involved, other than like my current person.
Ooh, wee.
That's offline though. But anyways.
Not that's offline.
That's offline. That's off limits. Back to the story.
We
were in class. You say it was the forensic social work class, but I think we were in the poverty class. Because you were sitting to the left of me when I saw your shoes and complimented you.
Oh.
So
anyways, then we started like seeing each other before class. Like I'll be walking up to class and she would be sitting out there, or I'd be sitting out there and she's walking up to class, and then it would just be like a hey girl, just gradually real cute. And I remember seeing you like, wow, she just looks so cool, like, oh, I would like to be her friend, but I was just like, oh, it's whatever.
That's what I thought of you too. I was like, she's too cool for me. Like, you can see people and you be like, I was like, I want to be her friend, but she just seems like her life is too cool. Like at the time I'm just like lonely, just going to school, going home.
That was me too. That was my reality.
It's too cool to be my friend. And then one day we were in class, we were sitting next to each other, and she had on these like cute, like black, like almost running shoes.
Some random Nikes.
I really liked them though. And I was like, I like your shoes. And she was like,
I was like, thanks. I got it from Hibbett Sports.
and that
Why
from
did she need to
there,
know?
a friendship was born.
Yeah.
But we actually bonded over our like interest in astrology. Because at the time that was like my hobby. Like
Mine too. I had just got into astrology that summer, and so like I was just learning about all the different signs and, you know, the moons, the suns, the risings, everything.
and I was actually going through it, like a situation with an Aquarius.
Yeah.
And so I was telling her about it. We were just sitting around. Everybody was talking about astrology. And I think we kind of seceded from that conversation, started having our own side conversation. And I was like, I'm dealing with this Aquarius and this, and this. And she was like, girl, I dealt with an Aquarius.
And went through very similar things. And like, I just came to the realization. I remember telling you, I was like, I just realized me and him just weren't on the same wavelength.
And then we both found out we were Sagittarius too. I'm December 7th.
And I'm December 4th. Like, what are the odds that we are born, our birthdays are in the same week?
Yes, that's so crazy. So we
3
just
days.
like bonded over that too.
Yeah.
And then what happened with the whole like with their water shut off, or did you come pick me up?
I came to pick you up first. So it was one of our classes, forensic social work. I remember that one. And you had texted me like, hey girl, if you take notes in class, can I see your notes? I ain't gonna make it today. And I'm like, oh, okay. Everything all right? And you was like, yeah, I just got into a little fender bender and knocked off my window. I'm like, or your mirror or whatever it was.
Side mirror.
Yeah. And I was just like, oh, like I can come get you for class if you want. And you were like, no, you don't have to do that. And I'm like, girl, I do not mind.
I lived in Marietta at the time. If you're not local to Georgia, that's maybe like 30 minutes away from Atlanta.
Yeah, because I was downtown on Georgia State's campus, so downtown Atlanta. And she was like, oh, you don't have to do that. I was like, girl, I promise I don't mind. It's not that big of a deal. And so I went and got her. Like, we chatted the whole way, went to class.
That was the birth of our friendship. That whole, like, we just got close
summer,
fast.
We
and
really
then, like,
did.
she had some flooding at her student housing. And I was like, come stay here. And she came and she slept on my couch. And, like, we were friends from that point on.
I'm telling you, yeah. And prior to all of that, like we would just start having little conversations with each other's side, like just little side conversations. We used to bond over Smoothie King because both of us always had smoothies.
Yeah, we did. Like we were just aligned.
Yeah.
From the very beginning, we were aligned and we would have deep talks. And like Dana was the first person that I felt like I could really open up with about a lot of deep things that I believed in and were going through. And she would do the same with me. Yeah. And we both just challenged each other throughout the years in our friendship to evolve. And we just feel like everybody should have someone in their life who challenges you and helps you level up. And she's definitely that for me.
And you're that for me too, girl.
We're just the best.
And I think one of the most important things in our friendship is we're able to, we know we can just come to each other with anything and don't have to worry about any judgment being passed.
For sure.
Yeah.
I mean, definitely. And throughout the years, it's been like trying and tribulation. So really this podcast is a story. Like we're telling a story and it goes way back. It starts in 2018.
I know.
And we both have these, because we think that we're twin flames. If you look up twin flames and if you hear bumping in the background, I live in a condo.
You didn't hear it.
And the neighbors sometimes get rowdy, taking his door off the hinges and things. I don't know. If you're watching this, please quiet down. Please.
We're begging.
Thank you. But anyways, we're twin flames and we believe that we're in each other's life. We're kindred spirits to teach each other something. And we just have a story to tell that's happened throughout the years. And we're just like, we've made it to a certain point now. But we're like, we have to go back and we have to tell people what we did to get here.
Come on. Yes. We over the years just learned so much from each other.
Yeah. And if you're watching this or we see people online, really all this access on social media and what people share. And we're like, well, if we share what we did, maybe someone can watch this and do the same thing and maybe it'll work for them.
Yeah.
So our podcast is for who it's for. If this message lands on you and you leave here reflecting on something that we've said, that's kind of the purpose.
Yeah. And we just want to offer people a different perspective as well, because I feel like you and I both are just not, we don't think how everybody else thinks. I feel like we we definitely think on a different playing field, and we can offer people a perspective that, you know, they might have never thought about before. And I just think it's just so important to have all these different perspectives and just
floating around.
Come on.
And if it lands on you, it lands on you, and it might be for you. And if the message you can't receive, you can't pick it up, maybe I hope and wish that you find a message that you can pick up.
Yeah.
Because everybody needs something.
Come on.
Anyways.
Exactly.
So, what do you want to get into first?
Where should we start? You want to start
say
2019?
Yeah.
Oh, child.
That was a year.
2019 was the ghetto.
It was the ghetto. The things, the places that we were compared to where we're at now is, I can't even, I'm trying to think on it and reflect, and it's like I have to, because I kind of disassociate a little, I have to really reground and accept that was reality.
Yeah, like that was reality. We lived in it, but we also made it through that. And we're on the other side.
Eating horribly.
Wallowing in pain. Just
harming yourself through all these different things that we would do.
Yep.
We would just be on the phone with each other, laid up on a couch, not moving for a whole weekend.
Yeah. She on her couch in Marietta. I'm on my couch in Atlanta.
We both worked in child welfare, which was a very stressful job. So we were aligned in that.
I wasn't working in it then.
Oh, where were you?
Girl. No, I was at the place.
Working with the veterans.
Exactly.
Got you. So that was before then.
Yeah, and I was there. I was miserable. And I just felt like I had a cloud. And you even told, like, you noticed it.
Yeah. I remember that. You were like depressed.
I was so depressed, and I was just like, I just need a break. Who knew it would come from them getting rid of me?
What happened?
Girl, I was in the office one day, and one of the like operations people was just like, hey, I need to talk to you when you get a chance. I was like, oh, like, what is it about or whatever? And he was like, oh, it's about you, blah, blah. I was like, oh, is it good or bad? He was just like, I just need to talk to you. I was like, So he and I went to this room. He sat me down and was like, unfortunately, we're going to have to terminate you. So-and-so feels like you just don't care. And I guess it was reflecting in my work or something. And he's like, we're going to have to let you go effective immediately. Turn in your phone and laptop and everything.
And how'd that make you feel at the time?
I was distraught.
I remember.
Because even though like I hated it so much, it still, I would have wanted to leave on my own terms.
Yeah.
So I felt like it was definitely a blow to the ego. It was something I had never experienced before. And I went back to my office where I used to sit crying, hyperventilating. One of the other girls, she was like, what's going on? What happened? And I just got fired, like trying to explain it. And she was like, what? And it was just, I don't know a time where I had felt just so many emotions all at once. Just anger, rage, sadness, just everything.
Because getting fired, you're questioning everything.
Yeah.
Where are your bills going to come from?
Exactly.
What are you going to do next? How do you get a new job? And I was working in, just started my job in child welfare at the time. And I was like, you should just come here. Like, we're always hiring.
And I was applying for a bunch of different jobs. But also at that time, like afterwards, I was just so depressed. I would literally sleep all day, wake up, go eat, get back in bed, and go back to sleep. And you would call me, and my mom would call me and check on me, and I'm like, I'm okay, like, and just go right back to sleep, just depressed. It was just such a dark time.
Yeah.
And then I started in child welfare, January that next year in
2020?
Yep, January 2020.
So that's where we're at 2020, and we're aligned working at the same place. And then the pandemic happened. I'm like, what am I missing from 2019 though? What was your dating life like?
Ooh, child.
What was mine like? I don't think I didn't have one. I mean, I would talk to people one off, but like I was not even over like the past at that time. I was still in like a cycle of like healing, deep shadow work, insomnia. Because I remember you're the reason why I started taking melatonin to regulate my sleep schedule. So this is a teaching moment for anyone out there.
Okay.
If you have insomnia, I struggled with insomnia since childhood, triggered by symptoms of like depression. And so I was telling Dana, like, sometimes I have these times where I just cannot sleep. Like I will stay up all night till like 5, 6 in the morning, then go to sleep.
I remember that
every night. And so you were like, melatonin can regulate your sleep schedule. I started taking the gummies, got that blasted away.
Baby was knocked out. Okay,
I was sleeping. So just don't be afraid to try things.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to open up to the people around you about what you might be experiencing, because you just never know what they're going through or what they have experience-wise. That's why it's just so important to have friends as a sounding board that you can trust. Real friends.
Yeah.
Not just go out, turn up friends.
Right.
Because when would a conversation like that even be an opportunity to have?
Yeah, like if all of y'all doing are, you know, being out partying in loud music or drinking drunk,
Yeah,
like
there's no
when do
time
you
to
have the
talk.
time?
How can we speak to one another in that setting? So that's a positive out of like what at the time felt like such a stagnant place for us was like actually soil. And we were seeds in that soil and that dirt, okay? Getting watered so that we could grow to be like what we are.
I agree. And I feel like we definitely did a great job of being in tune with each other, like in those quiet moments, and just really talking and getting to know each other better. And it was always just so interesting to me how, like, from the very beginning, we both were just so comfortable expressing like just such deep emotions or feelings that you never
told anybody.
Yeah.
I feel like that was like because our spirits knew each other.
Yeah.
So there's a familiarity, I believe, when you meet certain people and you are immediately disarmed by them. It's because you, on some level, know each other already.
Yeah.
So our paths were just intertwined. Like we had a friend group.
Oh yeah.
And me and you just kind of like, there was just a special connection between the two of us at that time.
Yeah, like, you know, we would always be with the group, but it would be like, hey girl, what you doing?
And we would just talk on the phone for hours and just, at the time, like, everything wasn't peachy keen. Like, we're reflecting on it now and saying, like, able to look back in hindsight 2020, but at the time, like, we were
struggling.
Yeah, we were literally really trying. You had the little car that was breaking down all the time. I had my Ford Focus that was
your death trap.
Y'all didn't want to ride in it.
That car used to be so loud. Oh my gosh.
If I got over 65 miles per hour.
Yeah.
The whole front of the car would vibrate. Nobody wanted to ride with me in my car.
We really, I'd be like, I drive. Cause no, girl.
Living off student loan money because we didn't have jobs. I didn't have any money. We both lived on our own. Though. Yeah. So that's a plus. Sag is always going to get to it, honey. Period. The universe makes a way. And we were like having fun. Like we found happiness in that time.
Yeah, I think so.
We just had no idea what type of happiness we were capable of. And then we'll share just more of the story as we go on with further episodes. But that's just where we're coming from and where we feel like we came from a certain place, we got to where we're at now, and we did it a certain way and just want to share like how we did it.
Because it took a lot of work, and we were both willing to do the work that needed to be done on ourselves.
Come on. Always chasing like your higher purpose and your higher self,
for sure,
some way, shape, or form. But that really started for me. I feel like that's when it all started for me.
What all started?
Like chasing my highest self and chasing purpose and like happiness, and just had to learn to accept a whole lot of things. But in that journey is so intertwined with our friendship.
I can definitely see that. I think especially because like it was almost like our lives were just so parallel and in sync, because we would be going through not necessarily the same thing, but kind of similar things around the same time, like going through a hard time at the same time, feeling like we're up at the same time, and just being there through it all for each other.
Twin flame, like holding up a mirror to one another to really see the cracks and the things, and having those reflective conversations. We would do like Sunday reflections.
We did
every Sunday.
Oh,
what was it? Because I always forget.
Girl, the rose, the thorn, and the bud. So the rose is a positive thing that happened during the week. The thorn was a challenge that you overcame, and then the bud was something that you were looking forward to
for the next week. And we would do that every Sunday.
We did.
Like what?
Oh, I forgot forgot about the rose thorn in the bud.
Never forget, girl. Never forget. Like, we really do this work together.
Yeah, we do.
And in the thing that we did today, like, we found out that we really are kindred spirits, and we have like a joint mission. We have a lot of things we're passionate about individually and together.
Yeah.
And Low-Key in Alignment is really about that, and branching off into all those. Oh,
Y'all see the shirts?
Moment. We're gonna have merch, I guess you can call it.
Yeah. Stay tuned.
Multiple things. It's just gonna be fun. Like, we just want to have fun. We just want to talk about things. We want to reflect about life,
right?
And things going on. You want to know something that I want to talk about?
What?
I was online this morning.
Okay.
I texted you about this, and it was about DC Young Fly did a podcast, and he was saying like he wants multiple baby mamas similar to Nick Cannon, and he had said called like Queen of the Children or something.
Wasn't it? And he was saying something like a girlfriend can't tell you how to have a relationship with your baby mama. Was it something like that he was saying?
I didn't even really know. It's just it's the sentiment for me.
Yeah. No, I definitely did.
Just about like, I feel like in today's age, it's a double-edged sword. Like, I'm happy that people are being more honest about exactly how they want to behave.
Yeah.
I wanted to see exactly how he said the queen thing.
Is it in the
Because he was like, it's just a glorified name for a baby mama.
Yeah.
Did you want more than...
Don't want to get copyrighted, okay? But it was the Poor Minds podcast.
Yes.
You guys want to check them out because they are fire.
Shout out to Drea and Lex.
Let's see.
You want more than...
See?
Queen of your children.
Queen of his children. Okay, so instead of baby mama, he used queen of his children. And so that's cool. That's fine. But I feel like, and this is no hate to him or anything, but it just opens up this morning, because in the mornings, that's when I'll be having my reflection.
Right.
About how if you let, especially men, justify, sugarcoat, or rename anything that is bad or negative, they will. So it's like, you have to express discernment. It's okay to have alternative views. It's okay for a man to come to a relationship with maybe a non-traditional approach, but like, always express discernment and just make sure, because I was like, people will be outraged maybe if they see that and they're like, or they're outraged by what Nick Cannon is doing, but you don't have to do that.
Exactly.
If you're outraged, don't do it.
Yeah.
Like,
you don't have to engage in it.
Yeah, and don't try to change other people and make them do it your way. Just know what you want to do, because only you can control yourself.
Exactly.
So when I saw that, it's like, at first I was like, oh, like, that's so bad. But then I changed it to like, well, I know I don't want to do that. Clearly,
so,
that's not something I'm interested in doing.
Yeah.
So I won't.
Exactly. And it doesn't mean that one way is right compared to the other way of doing things. Like, there's no one right way to do life, pretty much.
At all. And you know that I believe that. And we both do.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
So we're going to end this episode off talking a little bit about non-attachment and our views on that and where we're coming from with that, and explain a little bit about it. So non-attachment, as I understand it, is being and just being, a state of being and existing with no guaranteed outcome and no desire for a guaranteed outcome. And that ties into like our podcast, because we're releasing this.
Yeah.
We're doing this as a passion project. No desired outcome, not for money, not for fame, not for notoriety, not for attention, not here to push it on people.
Yeah. And it's just, this is just something that we want to do because we enjoy just talking amongst ourselves, having these deep conversations. This is just fun for us. So we want to invite y'all in to share this with y'all.
Come on. We're sharing in the wealth of knowledge. Yeah. We're sharing in the energy that we hope that is being picked up, because you can't help but admit it.
Okay.
Can't be neither created nor destroyed, only transferred. So we're transferring this good energy to you guys.
We hope that y'all receive it.
Yeah.
If it's for you, you know.
And we're not attached to outcomes. And we want to encourage anybody watching this video to reflect on attachments that you might have in your life. Yeah. And enjoy your journey.
And that's like attachment, because like you were saying, your version of not what you perceive non-attachment is that's very similar to how I see it too. Like, you're just doing things without worrying about what the end goal is, or like achieving something in the end. Like, you're just doing it without any care, positive or negative, about how it's going to end, if it ends, you know?
Yeah. And I was not always like this.
Yep.
I had an experience that catapulted me to be like, I
Yeah.
can no longer attach myself to outcomes. It's toxic.
Yeah. And I think when you get to that place of, I've literally done everything I can and it doesn't yield the results that I think I want, then it's like, all right, what more can I do?
Yeah. Like you surrender to the process. So we're here just to vibe. We're here to make our podcast and distribute it to everybody, but we're not attached to an outcome either way. So we just want to end on that note.
Yes.
We want to thank you guys for listening this far with us, and we want to welcome you to like this video, follow, whatever you have to do on
Subscribe,
Apple, what
comment.
if you want, if you
Yeah,
so
if you
choose
want to. If
you're
you don't,
moved to.
if you don't feel called to do it, then don't feel pressured.
We're not attached either way. So
Well, this is just something we just doing for fun. Like, we're just here to chirp,
come on.
to do what we do best.
Come on. And we will see you guys in our next episode. We're really chill vibes today.
Yes.
We're very proud of what we're doing.
Yeah.
So
I'm so proud of us and where we are and like what's to come, because I just know great things are coming, you know?
yes. And to look forward to like more topics. We have so many things we're going to talk about. This was really just our intro to just why we're here, who we are, what you guys can expect a little from us, our perspective as well.
Yeah.
To see if you are aligned with that. So we are going to say goodbye. We're gonna sign off, sending good, loving, flowing energy to you guys, and we want you
Positive
guys to
vibes.
stay low key in alignment.
Let me hit stop. Alani,
What?
guess the time.
What is it?
444.